Welcome back, Guardians, to another Destiny video. And in today's Destiny video we're going to be looking at my Hunter Gunslinger setup. Now I'm probably going to get tons of hate in the comment section because that's what seems to be happening with these setup videos, even though it was people in the comments who was asking me to make setup videos. When I make them, everyone was leaving hate on them, so I'm just going to do them anyway and put them up. I don't really care what kind of views and stuff they get. They're just there if anybody likes to know what I use, and that is my opinion and my best setup for each class that I use personally. So yeah, if you want to bitch about it, go ahead. So this is what I use with my Hunter. I like to use the Achlyophage Symbiote for obvious reasons. With the golden gun, it gives you an extra shot, so you get 4 shots instead of 3, which just makes it even more overpowered and incredibly difficult to fight against in something like PvP. The grenade throw distance doesn't really concern me. I'm not that fussed. The knucklehead radar is good to use across the board because you don't lose your radar, but it's not as necessary for me as the Achlyophage Symbiote. I also have tried the Arachnid out, but it just, I guess it's good for PvP, but I'd rather have 4 shots. Like, it's not that bad. Like, you can still snipe people across the map without having to zoom in. That's how good the golden gun is. So I tend to just go with the Achlyophage Symbiote. The only other exotics that I use are the Don't Touch Me's in raid scenarios, usually when I'm a blade dancer anyway, because everything else just doesn't seem to interest me. Trip mine grenades I don't particularly use because I always blow myself up. Yeah, the only one I would use is probably the Crest of Alpalupi to spawn more orbs and revive teammates faster in raid scenarios, but it's not that important, to be honest. And the Radiant Dance Machines never get used because they're terrible, so I like to have a nice split across Intellect, Discipline and Strength. As you can see, they're all pretty close together, with Intellect edging it with 70%, just so I can get that golden gun back a little bit quicker than I would with grenades and Strength for the throwing knives. Now the reason why I stack a little bit in Strength, I do want to have less Strength than I do, but I can't be bothered to run the raid to get rerolls, so this is fine for what I need. The throwing knife is the way I set it up is that if you get a precision shot, it will instantly come back, but a lot of the time you miss, so I want some Strength in there to get that throwing knife back. So yeah, let's have a look at what we have. So again, always on these I am set up for the raid with loads of armor and such things, but with agility as well. With the grenades, the incendiary grenade, I don't particularly think it's that good. The trip mine grenade, like I say, I always blow myself up, so I tend not to use it. So I always go with the swarm grenade. This gives you a nice area of effect. It will push PvE enemies away from you. It also tracks enemies, so it'd be like PvP, where if you throw it on a control point, it's going to split up and hit a few people and take some damage off them. And if you've already took some damage off them and you throw this after them, it's going to chase them down and finish them off. So that's why I use the swarm grenade. Triple jump is obviously necessary as a hunter. With the golden gun, I like to have combustion. Killing enemies with golden gun causes them to explode. I don't particularly care about either of the other ones. The reducing the cooldown is good, but I'd much rather have people combust. With the throwing knife, again, I have precision kills. With the throwing knife, immediately resets its cooldown. We have the keyhole. Golden gun over penetrates that and can damage multiple targets. Now, that means you could get collaterals with it, and I'll explain why in a second. Picking up ammo reduces the cooldown of your grenade and throwing knife. That's not a bad thing to roll if you're doing things like normal strikes and such things, but it's not particularly that great. And I don't particularly need the stability. I know how to control my weapons, so I don't particularly need that one either, so I always go with the keyhole. And then last but not least, we have the Chain of Woe. Precision kills increase weapon reload speed, and it stacks up to 3 times. This definitely helps out with things like Timur's Lash and very slow shooting hand cannons. They're easy headshot machines, but their reload speed is quite slow. So this definitely helps stack up and get a faster reload. You can gain an additional throw knife, but I don't think they're particularly that useful to have 2. So that is my setup, and the reason why I have keyhole is so that if there's a group of enemies, I can hit through them and get 2 or 3, and then they will explode and kill all the other ones with combustion. So that's why I use the Gunslinger the way I do. And I'm going to try and showcase this now, but I'm not going to promise anything because, you know, it's live recording and everything goes wrong during live recording. So I'm going to try and get a precision throwing knife headshot. Boom! Get my knife straight back. Boom! Boom! Look at that. Pure headshots with that. So next we're going to run up here and we're going to stack up all these enemies together. I'm going to use my golden gun and mess them up. Oh yeah, explode baby, explode. Boom. Okay, it didn't go as well as I planned it would, but you know, it works. Throwing knives for the win. Ay, 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 get away from me. Bing, bing. And that's pretty much the setup. That's all I really wanted to show was the how the golden gun works and how many shots you get and how much damage it can do. That first one took out probably like 2 or 3 enemies and damaged the rest of them, which made them a lot easier to kill. I wish I got a direct hit on the knights, but I alas sadly did not. I'm going to throw down my grenade and show you what I mean by causing the area of effect and causing them to not chase. Well, you know, that didn't work because it's a Frau and Fraus are silly. As you can see, I've already got my supercharge back now and we are ready to rock with another one. So I'm going to pop that out and I'm going to fire 1 bullets. And you see, causing damage to multiple targets at once is very, very useful. And boom, collateral just there then. Now I'm going to try and get the precision thing to stack so we can see how fast the reloads are. So we see we've got 1 chain of woe, 2 chain of woe, 3 chain of woe. And then we reload the gun like boom instantly. So that is why I set this up the way that I do. So I hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you did, please leave a like. It only takes you a second and it really greatly helps out my channel. Tell me your setups and the things that you would change. Not like, oh, your setup is shit, you're terrible at this game. Just tell me what you use. It's not that hard. Ow, I'm going to hit the back. Let me just run up here for a second and kill these. Get away from me, knights. Yeah, so let me know about your setups and what you use and such things. All that good stuff. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. Look, another thing already. Golden gun. Bing. Bing. Oh, I didn't even kill him. You suck. Actually, we might be able to show this grenade off now. You see, look, these enemies shouldn't come out. Okay, it's just not working with Fraus. I'm just not. Yeah. Okay, doesn't really matter anyway. There's still a good defensive thing to use. I might as well just finish this off now. Bing, 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 bing. Yeah. Right, likes, comments, feedback, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.